Alright folks, I ran out of time on the last one, but I'm going to finish up worksheet 9, the lost worksheet, because it's not in the 2020 spring packet anyways. Alright, so here we go. The copper sulfate pentahydrate, this is one way to write it, and that just means there's 5 water molecules, so 10 hydrogens and 5 oxygens if you're keeping count. Another way that you could write that is CuSO4 and then put the water in parentheses and put a 5 like that. That would say the same thing. Alright, the lead 4 chromate. The 4 means that the lead has a positive 4 charge and the chromate has a -2 charge. So those will go together. If you crisscross the charges, you'll get 2 to 4. The ratio would reduce to 1 to 2. So we're going to have a 1 to 2 ratio. So it's going to be PB CrO4 parentheses 2. Alright, the diphosphorus pentoxide is P2O5. Remember, that's a covalent compound, so it is not necessary for you to do any charges or anything for that one. Alright, again, I would encourage you to pause, give all these a try, and come back and watch the solutions to it. Again, keep in mind ionic versus covalent. So potassium permanganate, metal and a nonmetal, it's ionic. Sodium hydrogen carbonate, also metal and a polyatomic ion. Sorry, I should have said polyatomic ion up here, so that's ionic. Metal and a polyatomic ion, that's ionic. Carbon tetrachloride has 2 nonmetals, so it's covalent. Aluminum sulfate, ionic. So we'll go ahead and write formulas for those. Potassium permanganate, potassium is +1, permanganate is -1, so KMnO4. That's all you got to do there. +1, -1 for the hydrogen carbonate, so it's going to be NaHCO3. Right, zinc nitrate. So zinc is +2. It's one of the ones you're supposed to memorize, and nitrate is -1. Alright, carbon tetrachloride is covalent, so CCl4. Alright, the aluminum sulfate, +3, -2, so those will go together in a 2 to 3 ratio. Put some parentheses here and then put the sulfate, SO3, in the parentheses. Now, these we're going to be writing formulas, or excuse me, we're going to be naming these compounds. The ionic naming is easier than the covalent naming. Now, this one, ionic compound, you got 2 polyatomic ions bonded together, ammonium and oxalate, so that's ionic, so you just write the name of the first ion, ammonium, and that's it. The next one, you might notice, is an acid. Okay. What in the world? Okay. Well, let's move this back over here. Alright. So that one, by the way, you're supposed to memorize the acids. They're on the purple sheet. Okay. Calcium permanganate here. This is also an ionic compound. Alright, copper chloride is an ionic compound. This one has a transition metal in it that needs a Roman numeral. So look, you've got 2 chlorides. Each chloride has a -1 charge based on it being in group 17. So that means you have two -1 charges, so the copper has to be +2 to balance that -2 charge from the chlorines. There you go. Alright, this one is the same compound with some water attached to it. So that's going to be copper 2 chloride. And it's got 2 waters, so di for 2 hydrate. Alright, this one, different way of writing the same formula. Same thing, copper 2 chloride dihydrate. All right, the next one is a covalent compound. That's oxygen difluoride. So when it's covalent, use the prefixes. Another covalent one, carbon monoxide. Ionic compound, magnesium hydrogen sulfate. All right. Let's see, the next one you might notice is an acid. Okay, that is hydrochloric. All right, we'll scroll down. All right, ionic compound here. Again, pause the video, try these, and then come back and watch the video. All right, potassium carbonate. All right, chromium chloride. Chromium is a transition metal, so we'll have to analyze the charges. There's 6 -1 charges here, so the chromium is going to have to be +6 to balance that out. So chromium 6 Vi chloride, which by the way would be really bad for you. All right, another ionic compound here, zinc hydroxide. Then we got a covalent compound, carbon disulfide. Ionic compound, calcium thiosulfate. And then lastly, a covalent compound, sulfur trioxide. All right, and that's it for the worksheet 9 with this mixed naming. By the way, just to give you an example, looks like the ones with Roman numerals. Let's do one that's just a little off the wall. So let's say you encounter something like this. Okay, the oxide, each oxygen has a -2 charge. So 3 times -2 gives you -6 overall. You got 2 cobalts here, so each cobalt would have to be +3 to give you a total of +6 to balance the -6 from the 3 oxides. So the name of this one would be cobalt. Again, cobalt's a transition metal with a variable charge. So the name would be cobalt 3 for the charge, 3 not for the number, 3 oxide. All right, hope that helps.